Hambini fans, and welcome to another episode of Hambini Reams. In today's episode, I don't think I've had one of these on the show before. Someone sent me a GPS computer to review, and that company was IGPSport and their IGS630 cycling computer, and this is it. Time for some critical stats. So the weight is 93 grams. And the size is it's about 90 mil in one direction, maybe 92. And then the width is like 50. And then its thickness is about 18, maybe 15. So when you get it, you'll get a box like this. It actually came from Amazon, so they've used that to do the shipping. Inside, it's pretty much run-of-the-mill. I've obviously taken this out, but in here you get, I didn't actually need any of this, but oops, never mind, we'll rip that bit. Manual and all this, so a USB cable, the sort of mount which is the same as a Garmin, and some DPM O-rings to mount it together, and also one of those like camera carry handle things. The manual is pretty comprehensive. It's not very, what would you describe it as, Chinglish? I think that's what they describe it as. I would say that was fairly comprehensive. To be honest, it's intuitive, so you don't really need it. This is the object of concern. To turn it on, all you do is press and hold the power button and it'll come on like that. And then it is just straightforward. So you've got up and down to take you to all the settings that it has. And if you just want to go, you just press the play button and away it goes. So once it's got a GPS lock, which is that thing in the top left hand corner, you get to this screen and you've got all of the functions that you could ever imagine. It's got everything. You can adjust this with the phone app, but I generally prefer not to and just do it by hand. It takes about 30-40 seconds for it to lock, depending, and there's the map of where we are, to lock on. So to adjust the screen, you just press this button in the top right hand corner and then go down to page fields, and then you can change the page fields to whatever you want. There's plenty to pick from. So this is it mounted on the bike. It's got an automatic timer, so it's hit pause because we're not moving. It's just a standard Garmin mount. That light's gone off because we've stopped. That is a very, very tight fit onto the back of the mount. Only one real issue you may come across, and that's when you put it in. If you haven't got much gap between the handlebar and the bottom of there, you won't be able to get your finger in to do the switches. Now, it's not a problem on this WindSpace handlebar, but it might be on some others. This is it installed in an official Garmin mount. And blimey, is it tight. So that's it locked in, and you've got clearance there to use all the buttons. Now, there are a couple of things I really like about this. I think the major one is the battery life. The battery life is just ridiculous. It is so good. You can go probably, a week, 10 days worth of commuting. I don't even charge it. The rest of it is just pretty run-of-the-mill. The only thing that may put you off is if it's not part of like the Garmin ecosystem or the Wahoo ecosystem, so you'll just have to use Strava or something else. That's really the only drawback. So what do I think of this? Well, overall, I'd say it's pretty good. Now, when I get sent some of these things, I usually think, oh, this is going to be a load of crap. But this is one of those things, a bit like the Pro X carbon wheels, where it really did exceed expectations. The battery life especially is really, really good. It's like 10 days worth of commuting without too much in the way of grief, and even in very cold weather. The display at night time is bright, and again, there's just really nothing that it doesn't do. The disadvantage is in the wider picture, so it does the speed, does the power, all that kind of stuff, is the ecosystem. So if you're into uploading your rides and stuff, you're basically limited to Strava and the app that came with it. And the app that came with it doesn't quite have the same penetration as, let's say, Garmin's Connect or the Wahoo, which I don't know, equivalent. And that's it. Now, if you've got any questions or comments, please use the box below. And until next time, keep banging your hairdresser.